The overall quality of these, I think all of them are quite distinct.
Yes.
All of them quite enjoyable at the same time. And then it comes down to really what's your preference. And so today we are going to celebrate Aussie Merlot. And before we jump to that, a message from our sponsor, Laithwaites. Part of what we love about wine is the stories behind every bottle, and Laithwaites share the same approach. Their fantastic range highlights growers, winemakers, and a region off the beaten track that are producing incredible wines. Sounds pretty good, right? Try them for yourself at laithwaites.com.au. Wind-Up listeners get 20% off with the exclusive code WINDUP, WINEDUP. Now, Merlot is the topic that we're going to discuss, and we did an episode probably 3 months ago. And it was an episode where we challenged the perception of Merlot because we asked the question, where is the love for Merlot? We followed that up with the subsequent post about 5 reasons why Merlot isn't popular in Australia. And then the wine community reached out. They reached out and they said, look, these are some of the great Aussie Merlots within Australia that you should try. And we've had some great producers kind of send us their bottles to sample. And that's what we want to do today. We want to do a blind tasting of 5 Merlots that we've received within Australia to celebrate the quality of Merlot and also work out which is the Aussie Merlots that we like based on our tastings. And so you're there trying a few there. And I think the way that we do this is kind of ramble through the 5 wines, smell, sight, taste, and then order them in terms of preference.
What are you looking for in a good Merlot, though?
To be honest, I don't have a set style. I think when I taste it and I smell it, that's when I know I enjoy it.
To my point before, around wine critics, if they're looking at you as a wine guide,
yep.
What's your wine palate like? What's your style of wine that you're looking for?
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm looking for a wine that I like, it's typically a savory wine. If I'm thinking about reds, it's probably not too high in alcohol. I think a lot of the fruit is what's shining through, but also I like a bit of grip in the wine itself. Yourself?
For me, I like depth. I like something different. Like I do like some of the Italian wines where they have that kind of dirty, dusty kind of grit to it as well. I have appreciation of like clean and pristine, but also like a bit of edge to it as well in my wines.
I do think you like a bit of nuance, something a bit different to your wines. Let's go through these one by one, just on sight, smell, and taste. And then let's circle back and kind of order them in terms of what we want. And I must say, these wines are from all over Australia. So we're going to taste the different terroir winemaking styles from each.
So what wines do we have here, though? Like without knowing which one is what, where have we got these wines from? Where are they from? What producers are they from?
Okay, we can talk through those if you... So the producers that we have, we've got one from Brash Higgins. Brash Higgins did one which is I really love the design of it. It's called MRLO, which if you say it, it's Merlot. It's a Merlot amphora. It's a 2021, $35. And Brash is from McLaren Vale, South Australian area.
We had his bloom.
We had his bloom. So that's one of them. The other one that we've got is Mudgee Estate Winery. And so they're based in Mudgee, and they're about 450 meters above elevation. So New South Wales. The next one we've got is a 2024 Little Francis Beechworth Merlot. And you know, we spent some time in Beechworth over the Christmas break. So cool climate, enjoying that. The fourth one we've got is a 2022 DeSalis wine, so orange, again, going with the cool climate theme. And so the last one that we have is a year wine Margaret River Merlot from WA. So you can see there, all across Australia is the opportunity that we have. So I think what I want to do is kind of go through each, kind of just talk about what we smell and taste, and then kind of order it after this. So let's start off with A. You've had a whiff through it. What are you getting?
I think this feels like a bit younger type of wine. Like I do get a bit more sharpness to this one.
That distinct thing about softer tannins on the Merlot really comes through, but
kind of sharper, bit of kind of unripe blackberries
Mhm.
on that one. A bit more tighter on the palate.
I feel like the fruits are really shining through in regards to it. I don't know. I'm curious if that's what we're going to get across each of the Merlots.
No,
Let's
it
go to
changes.
B.
It changes.
Yeah. So B, you've had a smell.
The fruit's still prominent on this one. Very much primary fruit on it. It's a bit more rounded, bit more juicier than the first one in terms of shape. Still on the red spectrum as well in terms of fruits.
Yeah.
I won't reveal my preference till the end.
Texturally, I think it's a bit silkier than the first one.
Mm.
If we move on to C, and they're all quite similar in color, C might be slightly darker. Yep. Oh, wow.
There's a bit more funk to the
Yeah.
nose on this one.
Funk's the right term. It's almost a bit mushroomy that's coming through on that, which makes you think it's got some age on it.
It's still very bright. The tannins on it really come across through it as well. It's really got some grip onto it as well.
Yep.
So it's got funk, it's got grip, it's got fruit, it's got juice, it's got acid.
It's interesting. I think when you're talking about the wines that you like and a bit of nuance, I feel like that stands out. And then D is a bit lighter in comparison to the others. So I kind of feel like we've got some cool climate ones here. Maybe that's...
This one feels like it's got a bit more kind of a
That's
dark, kind of dark rosewood type of thing onto it.
It's darker, but it's darker, but also quite elegant in terms of the actual profile.
A bit more woody on this one. Woody. But it's like the kind of old kind of tea chest type of wood.
Yes. Yeah. When you say tea chest, I can completely imagine that.
Which I kind of like.
Wow.
It's like an elegant tea coming through on the Merlot.
And then the last one.
And it's got length on it as well.
The last one's, it looks a bit darker than the previous.
Yeah. Juice. It's just getting like smashed in your face with this kind of big, juicy, ripe. It's kind of purple fruits. It's not black, it's not red.
And it's got a bit more grip than the others, actually, in comparison, which makes me curious about it. All right, so we've gone through each of these a couple of times, and what we want to do is kind of work out in order of preference, which is the one that we enjoy the most. But I think overall, there's got to be an assessment on our statement around celebrating Aussie Merlot. And is Aussie Merlot something we should be having more of? What do you think?
I should be having more Merlot. Definitely.
You paused twice there. More Merlot. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the overall quality of these, I think all of them are quite distinct.
Yes.
All of them quite enjoyable at the same time. And then it comes down to really what's your preference. And that's what we wanted to discuss. If we think about order of preference, which Merlot did you like starting from A through to E? What was your first one, Trent?
The first one I liked was D was my favorite.
Followed by?
C.
Yeah.
Then E.
Yeah.
Then B. Then A.
Okay. And then the ones that I liked C, had a bit of funk. I like D, which is a bit more elegant, still had a bit of grip. Then E, which is fruity and quite powerful. And then I had a fair bit of tannin. I liked A, which is a bit oaky vanilla. And then B, which was a bit green in my mind. So if I kind of look at the top three, DCE is what you liked.
Yeah.
I like CDE.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the same realm.
Spectrum, yeah.
Right? But all of them high quality. I think let's do the reveal and find out which was our favorite. So you like D first, and I like C. So let's go with D. What was D?
Oh, I'm really curious what this is. DeSalis.
Wow, awesome.
DeSalis.
So
Get some of that in ya.
It's the DeSalis, and I think it had a mix in there. It's the DeSalis M actually had a bit of Cabernet Franc from what I remember,
Ooh, that must be it.
which maybe is what piqued your interest. So that was your number one. That was my second. I like C. Let's go see what C is.
Oh, what do you think it is? Oh,
Wow. So it's the Brash Higgins Merlot, MRLO.
it does like a bit of funk, a bit of
Yes.
oxidative style.
And so when we think about that being made in amphora, it kind of links to that.
Yep.
It absolutely makes sense. So that's C and D. We both had E as our third.
Ooh,
E.
little Francis from Beechworth.
Yeah, and so that kind of links to that elegant, fruity flavor, cool climate. And then you had B as your next one, which is the Banamagu
from Mudgee.
Banamagu Merlot. And then finally A. So A is the Yeah Now
Bring sexy back.
from WA.
Bum, bum.
I love that when we were talking to him because he'd kind of yell out F yeah to everyone to kind of get their interest because that was their slogan. Yeah now, WA. So was there any surprises in there?
I loved what you mentioned where there's a good diversity of different styles of Merlot.
Yeah.
In there. Like it's not a single, like I don't think I would say I drink these wine and go, that's Merlot, right? It just feels like very nice wine and different variations of that grape varietal. Like I loved it from the kind of sharper, younger style here, the more kind of fruit-driven, rounder style here, to a bit more, again, that tea chest aroma coming through in this one, to the funk on that one. Like
It's so diverse.
it shows where, you know, the terroir, the land, also the winemaker plays its part to kind of create their style, their stamp on the type of wines that they create.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think what this has shown us is the quality of Merlot in Australia is really good. The diversity and range that you can have across Australia is fantastic. It's up to you as to what your preferences are. But I think Merlot is absolutely something worth celebrating in Australia.
You know what I say?
What do you say?
I say, Merlot.
I get that too. Yeah.
You get that?
But because if you were to say FFF Merlot, it'd be a different conversation. Let us know in the comments below, what is your favorite Aussie Merlot? We're keen to find out. Celebrate more Merlot. Definitely have more in your rotation. That's us here at The Wind Up. As we like to say here, drink more, try more, learn more.